So today I'm going to be installing these Chevy logo puddle lights or ghost lights into my 2001 Chevy Suburban. They're going to go underneath the door panel in this area here. Make sure that it illuminates the floor pretty well, but I'll have to take the door panel off in order to do that. Well, let's get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take off the door panel for this 2001 Chevy Suburban. It's pretty easy if you know what you're doing, but we're going to start with this corner piece here. There's two clips that hold it in. You want to start at the top, hold that clip off, and then remove it from the bottom because you've got this angled piece that holds it in. If you try it from the bottom, you're going to break it. Set it off to the side. You're going to want to remove your courtesy light that's on the side. What you want to do is get your screwdriver on this side underneath and pop it out from this side first. There we go. And then you're going to want to disconnect the light here. Lift this up. Disconnect the light. You're also going to want to remove this piece from the door panel. There's a little hook in here as well, so you want to start on this side and pull it out from here. To get that removed, see if it comes right out. Set that aside. You've got two screws that hold this door panel together. There's one here, I don't know if you can see that, underneath the door as well. And then there's another screw that's inside this piece. So you need to remove this piece as well. I've got a little duct tape on this screwdriver to help me protect it. When you remove this, you'll see you're going to need to disconnect the wiring. So these can be a little finicky. You want to remove them before you do anything else to protect them. Set that aside. There is another connection, you'll see it, that connects the tweeter, but we'll get that in a minute. And you're step ahead, you want to remove this little piece as well that has the door lock. It's much easier to put that back on when you're done. So we'll take the 7mm driver and remove this screw. Put your hand in there. Set that aside. And here's the other screw that's holding that second one in place. This is the one that gets you if you didn't know it was here. Once you remove that, be free to lift the door off the J-hooks that are holding it in place. And then on this side you'll see the wire that's connecting the tweeter. Disconnect that one like that, and we're free to remove the door panel. We'll go ahead and drill out the hole for the courtesy light on the bottom. Okay, here are the ghost lights with the logos on them. I want to find the best placement for this. I'm going to connect it to where the courtesy light was here. This is the door panel upside down. So I want to make sure, of course, that there's no obstruction when we go through here, and I know that on about this spot right here is perfect for where I want to be. So what I like to do is just take a little bit of tape to protect the surface. Know exactly where I'm going to place this so I can mark the start of my hole that needs to be drilled. I want to make sure it's not going to be in any way of anything else that's here. So this just gives me a general guide. as to where I'm going to need to be drilling. So we'll drill. So we've got our area marked that we're going to drill. I'm going to go ahead and start the pilot hole. This is a hole saw bit that was supplied by the company that I bought the ghost lights from. So I know right where I want to be. I can make that mark. Begin that hole and cut this out the rest of the way. Okay, you can shut it off. Okay, we're going to install the ghost light. First, you want to remove these retaining nuts and take them off, so this will fit flush on the door panel. You're going to want to feed the wire through, and it would be best if you pulled it back out through the courtesy light hole. A tip, by the way, you might want to make this a little bit wider than what the pilot hole was created by your hole saw, because these threads don't want to go down, so you have to make it a little bit wider. But when you do, ultimately it does fit nice and flush down in there. And then you've got your wires. Now you're going to want to feed these back through. There is a larger one and a smaller one. The larger one goes first to be able to lock it in place on the back side. It's hard to see with this plastic piece here, but I'll show you what it looks like. If we can get that angle in here. Sorry, pardon my hand. So now you can see how these need to be screwed on in order to hold it in place. Okay, we're ready to replace the door panel now. Make sure that you connect this tweeter speaker wire first. You can't quite reach it once it's back on. Connect these two together, snap that back in. Good idea to grab your courtesy light wire as well and pull that through. You can see these J hooks. Grab that panel on there, pull it through. Pull your control wires through as well. Lift it up. Push it in. It should drop right into place. You can check and see if you're good by looking at these holes and making sure that they're lined up inside and out. Okay, so we've got our door panel back on. I went ahead and spliced in the wire for the ghost light into my courtesy light connection, so it makes it pretty easy. And I've gone ahead and connected the pieces for the door control panel. Give you an example of what this looks like. It's already ready to go. If I hit the dome override button, you can see that the courtesy light, or the ghost light, is actually working. So I'll show you what this looks like at night, but it's definitely working right now. So I'll put this all back together again and you'll see what it looks like tonight. We got to make sure we put our screws back before you go anywhere. All right, this is a 7mm nut driver. These two, of course, are the hardest ones. And then this one is a tricky one to see. You don't get these screws out, you're not getting the door panel off. There you go. Put this back in place. There you go. My courtesy light back on. Put this cover back on, slide that side in first, put it back in place. Of course, you want to make sure you put your door lock in and don't put it in upside down. I've done that once or twice. And your last piece you've got. This piece here. There you are. The door's back together. You've got the courtesy light working, and the ghost light is working. So we'll see what it looks like tonight. So I couldn't wait for nightfall to see what these look like, so I brought it into my dirty garage, and we'll just shut off the lights and see how they look. There it is. The Chevy logo, ghost light. It's the passenger side. Where I did the shortcut, by the way. And then here is the driver's side logo. Very nice. Worked out great. Very happy. Nice addition. Simple project. Hope it helped. Okay, so as a quick update and a little shortcut to modifying and adding these courtesy ghost lights on, instead of taking the door panel off completely, thought of a little shortcut. When you remove this courtesy light, you can actually get your finger in here, and below this, on the underside of this, there's one screw I've already taken out, a little 7mm screw that holds this piece in place. Just push your finger up through there, and it slides right on out. And this gives you access to the entire panel down here. Now you can just move this right out. You can see down inside the entire bottom. You can have access to this for splicing, and you don't even have to take the entire door panel off. Makes it a whole lot easier to get down underneath there. Just drill your hole right up underneath there, and you're good to go. How about that for a shortcut?